Hello, everybody.
It's
Thanks for
time.
joining us.
It's time to talk. Chapter, what number are we up to? Is this 5? I just knew that seconds ago.
I think it's 5.
Yeah, 5. Creating thematic maps. Not
Mhm.
dramatic maps, thematic maps.
Yeah.
So,
Sometimes they are called choropleth maps, so that's something you should know.
and I should not admit how long it took me to realize there was no L in the
Yeah, it's
beginning of
not
that.
chloro like chlorophyll. It's choro,
Choro.
which I think has to do with color. But
Maybe
anyway,
it's related
choropleth.
to choreography. That could be.
Yeah,
There's so
maybe.
many good ways to do it. Okay, so let's jump in here and look at this screen.
Yeah.
All right, you got it?
Still says started sharing. Oh, there you go. Okay, I see.
Okay, cool. All right, so this is something called Cal Enviro Screen, and it is an application by the state of California um, that I actually show in that intro video.
I was gonna say, I thought we showed this one.
I know.
It was so good. You get to see it again.
Yeah. Heck, we've only been doing this for 2 decades, so it's okay if we forget stuff or forget what they already did.
Almost.
What you're seeing here is the percentile for the state of pesticide levels in each of these areas. And as I zoom in, you'll see that it changes to a smaller geography, right? Or at least I thought I had it set up to do that. Oh, sorry, I don't. I just have this actually set up by census block group. So it's pretty small areas we're looking at here.
Yeah.
And the reason that most of this is just showing as yellow is because it's very low percentile as far as pesticide use, which makes sense because these are urban areas and it's going to be the agricultural areas of the state that have, see here, much higher levels. So we have Ventura
And
County here and
just in case on their computer it's not yellow on mine either. It's like closer to a white or an off-white,
okay.
but the kind
Yeah,
of blank areas, yeah.
that is a standard problem with colors.
Yeah.
That they don't look like what you think they're supposed to look like on yours. So, um, good lesson there. So anyway, this thing includes massive amounts of data. So let's take a look at the field or at the table real quick. So attribute table. And I'm working on this is on my laptop screen, not on my big screen. So it's kind of a small table here. You probably can't read these. Don't worry about that. Not important. By
Nope.
the way, so this is a service that's available online. So you can look it up, Cal Enviro Screen, all one word. Although if
And
you break
what
it
kind
up,
of
you'll
data do
find it.
they show, Barry?
What's that?
Tell them what kind of data you can typically get from Cal Screen.
So they have for each area of the population, ozone level, particulate matter levels, diesel, pesticides. What
Yeah.
else?
Like environmental hazards.
Well, they have environmental hazards and then they have social statistics,
Ah,
what they
yes.
call risk factors. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, we have hazardous waste, lead levels, asthma, and then we get into the social. So those are exposures, and these others are things that you actually find about the population there. So we have the rate of asthma, low birth weight, cardiovascular issues,
Percent of seniors, that kind of thing.
yeah, a linguistic isolation, poverty, unemployment, housing burden, where they're paying too much for their housing. And then we have um, the youth population, the elderly population, and we have all sorts of cool data in there. So this is a really handy source whenever you're doing a project in California that you can add into your project. So we're not going to show you that today, but in future chapters, we are going to show you how to combine things to do really, really cool stuff. So what I'm showing here is the pesticide levels. And so I already have this set up. I've determined how I want them to, I want them to be appearing here. And so, when you're talking about thematic map, you are looking at things that are counts and amounts,
Yeah, it's all about quantities.
as opposed to a categorical map, which is 2 chapters away. So we're not going to talk about that yet.
But
But
that's if you have different kinds of something, different
yeah.
types.
Okay, so let's say that we're going to take a look at how this is shown. So we will look at the symbology. Now here is where we determine what sort of map we're doing, like unique values would be appropriate for categorical maps. So it might be, junior high schools, intermediate schools, middle schools, all the different categories that you have for these things. It could be high schools, elementary schools, private schools, all of those would be examples of unique values. But here we're looking at graduated colors. You can also put 2 colors together, which is really cool. Make sure you pick good colors for that. Graduated symbols, proportional symbols. So think of this as like graduated symbols would be dots of different size. Well, let's
Yes,
just look at
it
it.
graduates from the smaller to larger for more amount.
Yeah, so see here how we have big dots in areas with a higher exposure and small dots where it's a lower exposure. And dot density, not really appropriate for what we're trying to do here. Um, and proportional symbols like with pie charts and things that you use those together. Anyway, they're really handy. But let's just stick with the straightforward graduated colors. Bring that back. And so this is showing, whoops, sorry, I accidentally changed my field here. Okay, but that's actually good because this is useful. This is showing us something very not useful, which is I am map the tract numbers as if they matter. And clearly they don't, right? I mean, you don't have to think real hard about that. So, yeah, this is just gibberish
So
because
let's
the
pick something.
tract numbers are arbitrary. It's not like one is higher than another.
Yeah.
So kind of like a phone number. You can't say your phone number's higher than someone else. I guess you could, but you would be a silly person. Okay, so let's look at population. Obviously numeric and whole numbers. And you can see normalization here is pretty cool. Let's say we want to look at, now it has to be something that has like, let's say Asian American,
Yeah.
and we're going to normalize by total population.
Yeah. That's a
Is that
very
not slick?
common normalization variable is population, like the total population.
So we can see areas with a higher percentage of Asian population.
Proportion.
Or, sorry, thank you, proportion.
The grammar.
Always count on Bonnie to fix my statistical words. Um, if I take that out, the normalization, make it none again. Now we can just see areas with a higher number of Asian population
And
as
you're gonna
opposed to.
and you're gonna ask which one should I use, and it really depends on your purpose.
Yeah,
And when you're using it in class, we'll help you figure that out for your project.
yeah.
But yeah, it really does depend on your purpose.
But like when you have somebody saying, oh, well, 80% of the people in this area did this, as opposed to only 30% over here. Like, okay, but that's 80% of 100 versus 30% of 10,000. So, yeah, you see a lot of that with election data where people try to massage it to make their case, but you will never do that because you're a much smarter person than that. Okay, so let's look at some of these other data pieces here that we might use. We're going to stick with the percentile. Well, let's stick with the pollution score. So these are the rankings that go from, you can see here, goes from 1 to, it looks like it ranges from 0 to 10. So we can see the areas with the greatest amount of pollution, right? Um, and then we can use these different methodologies of how you want to look at that. So natural breaks sort of groups it into what sort of makes sense. Like you have a clump here, a clump here, a clump here. I know statistically there's way more to it than that, but that's the
Yeah.
easy version.
Yeah.
A
How they
quantile just breaks it up into 5 equal size groups and so on. And you can play with all these equal interval, make sure
And,
that they're all the same.
and
Anyway,
again, I can hear you all asking, well, which one should I use? And again, the answer is it depends on what you're trying to show.
so you can see how easy it is to change. So there's no problem at all with going like, oh, okay, well, I just want to look at a defined interval where I say that they're this far apart, X. You look at it and go like, oh, that doesn't show anything useful. Let's try one of these others instead. And if you go online, you can look up, there's some really nice stuff that describes what each of these things is if you want to go into the help.
Yes.
Okay, right up there. There's our little help frame. Okay,
Oh, can we
so
change the color of that? I don't like pollution in blue.
yeah. So pollution should probably be in a red color. Where do I have a
Here, I
nice,
like the brown to yellow. That's kind of pollution-y looking. At the bottom there, that's a nice one.
that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Pollution.
yeah, like this is the color of the air. No, it's not. I can say our air is much better than it used to be.
But
So
it's really nice. ArcGIS Pro has all of those ones for you to choose from. If you happen to not like any of the multitude of choices that they have, you can actually go in, see down at the bottom, each individual color is a box. You can go down there and
oh
change
yeah.
and
Yeah.
really make your own custom.
Like something I often do where my lowest range is one that just really doesn't matter. And I don't want that to be showing as particularly obvious. I'll make it just, um, I'll change the color there under properties. And instead of that yellow, I'll just make it no color. So those areas wouldn't show at all. And
You got to
apply.
have the auto apply at the bottom, right?
I
Yeah.
like to use
And
the
if you
auto.
try to hit cancel without applying, it says, are you sure you want to do that? Actually, if you hit cancel, you're okay. But if you try to close it without applying it, it'll ask you. So
Yeah,
there
I
you
like
can see there's
it.
some areas that now sort of blank out, which is appropriate for what I want to do. Let's go back here. So, and you can see these different things I have, the primary symbology, the vary symbology by another attribute, the symbol layer drawing. So like this one could be useful for showing like asthma rate and also the size of the population. So the order that these things draw in, which not important right now. Some of you can play with someday. Filters that you might use, which that's one thing. If you need it, you get into it. And then advanced symbology has some cool stuff here. So one in particular that I like to use is percentage. So like this one, this is a bad example. Let me back up. I'm going to change it to something. Here we go. Asthma percentile. And I don't want it to look like this, especially these labels. I want it to look like a percentage.
Yeah. And you can see that what was on the bottom there in the pane is also what's showing in the table of contents pane on the
yeah. So you can see here, these look like percents. As opposed to, let's say it was 0.2 to 0.8, meaning 20% to 80%. Then you would say, hey, they represent fractions. In this case, that already represent a percentage. Yes, I know it's really percentile, not percentage. That's fine.
Can we show them how to change the decimal places?
Yes. So right here, it's at 6 decimal places. I'm
Ugh.
sorry, there's very few cases where you need that. Look, now I made it 1, 20.1 to 40, 40.1 to 60. Isn't that just so much easier on the eyes? Because
Yes.
nobody wants to deal with this stuff.
It's just more digestible.
Yeah, look at that. Blech. And it's so easy to fix.
Yeah.
Your friends will ask you for the recipe again and again. I don't think I've used that lately. Okay, so I think that's enough said on this stuff. Let me show you base maps though, because that's mentioned in this chapter.
Okay.
There are a zillion base maps.
Oh, it's so fun.
It is, and I know we mentioned this, I think, in the last chapter or a recent one, but it's important enough that we want you to know about it. So, um, like this might be appropriate as a background for what we're doing. And let me turn this off. So you can see each of these has a purpose. And again, it's very easy just to try it and say, oh, no, that's not what I want. That doesn't have a nice look that I need. Light gray canvas is very popular because it goes to the background and whatever you put on top of it is nice and clear.
Yeah, it really helps to emphasize what your layers are on the base map.
But sometimes you want, you want a lot out of your base map. So you might do something like this guy.
Which
They're not
is
all speedy loading.
bandwidth heavy, apparently.
Yeah. Anyway, this is loading imagery
The imagery. Yeah.
eventually. So see, if something like this happens to you and a base map is loading slowly, don't freak out. It's just big and slow.
Yeah.
So there we go. I thought zooming might wake it up. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Oh, we're out beyond the extent.
Yeah. So
Okay,
anyway,
that's
there's
good
a
to know.
lovely view.
And what I mean by that is they have it set so that when you're out past a certain scale, it doesn't draw the imagery because it knows it's going to be too much. So
Yeah.
as soon as we zoom in, then it turns on.
Yeah.
It's good for you to know.
So, oops, not bookmarks. Close base map. Um, but feel free to play around with these things and just you can look through them. This community map one is I like. USGS national map is really cool. What do you usually use, Bonnie?
I use topographic or light gray a lot. I know a lot of
There's
younger
topographic.
folks, as we are not younger folks, like the dark gray canvas too.
Yeah. So,
Like Sunny uses dark gray sometimes.
well, I'm sure he'll show us some examples of that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hasn't signed up yet. I need to speak with him about that.
it's great to have these things, your base map as a background, because
Mhm.
it allows you to have a cool looking map there. And let me do one other thing to this. And actually, this doesn't lend itself. Oh, well, wait. Here's an idea. If instead of using graduated colors, suppose that I used graduated symbols here. See, so now my base map is clearer and more useful.
Yeah, it gives more context to where those places are.
Yeah. And using the template here, I can go to properties and then have them be no color. Whoops. Sorry. No color. And I want this to be no, it's back to track. You're great. A nice orange.
It's interesting that you don't use the auto apply at the bottom. Bottom left of the pane.
Yeah, you know why? Because it's covered by the zoom controls.
Oh, okay. I like it because then I
Yeah.
can play around with colors and stuff really fast because I don't
Yeah.
have to hit apply.
Yeah,
It
that's a
just
good idea.
on the fly for you. So
But
they're
see,
changing the color and so they can see how fast it goes.
okay. So let's say I go to a nice blue. Boink.
See, so you don't have to press apply or anything. It
Yeah,
just,
if I zoom way out, that's going to take longer to do because I've got a whole state's worth of data. Ugh, that is unusable. Easy
yeah.
to fix that though, to
So,
get into it. This is
yeah,
just
you'll
showing that,
adjust your symbols based on
yeah, we're
stat.
not using the right, we're not using the right way to do this. Going back here, and again, I don't know why I switched to tract. If I go to, let's use population.
It's at the top of the list, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So now if we look at population, uh, and it would also make more sense if I was symbolizing this by a larger geography if I wanted to put those together. So that's pretty much it for thematic maps. There's a lot in the book. We're assuming that you're following that, but we just wanted to give you a few tips here.
Yeah.
And I think the overall thing is don't be afraid to play with these, right?
Yeah.
I mean, be it base maps or the way you symbolize all of these things are really cool. Oh, one other thing, just real quick here before I forget. Let's go back to um, graduated colors. And let me show you one thing that Bonnie and I like to use. Let's say I go to the PM 2.5 percentile. Wow, that's really interesting. Shows that the LA Basin has a higher level in the Central Valley, both because of their geography with the
Yeah, the
mountains here and
topography
traffic.
really makes a difference on that one.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So here's something that you can do though that makes them all a lot clearer that we like to use.
Mhm.
Whoops.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm going to change all of these. So I'm going to hold down the shift key and now I right click on the color and I say, oops, wait,
Oh,
sorry.
nope, you need outline color.
Yeah, I'm in the wrong spot.
I don't know if there's an easy way to do it.
I thought I could do them all.
Yeah, sure.
See, it's a learning experience, just what you needed. Outline color,
Yeah, but
no color.
that's just for the
But
one.
actually, okay, so I eliminated that for one area
Yeah.
for these highest ones. And let's do it also for the next one. Okay.
Yeah, the orange is probably a good one to remove.
Yeah. Click on that. And again, no color. You could also do white. It's an interesting effect, but we're going to do no color.
Yeah.
And look how much that cleans it up.
Yeah. That way
And
you're not seeing all the outlines on the urban areas. What you're
yeah,
seeing are the colors. And that's the message of your map are the colors.
yeah, because you don't care about what each little dot looks like. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Another easy way to clean that up is see how it says outline width, 0.7
oh
points.
yeah,
You could try 0.1 and that cleans it up a little bit. For this one, I think it's still appropriate to do the
let's look at this one. Let's do it on this one.
okay.
And so we'll just have one of them changed and we'll make it point,
Yeah,
let's
point
say
one.
0.1.
Yeah.
And now you can see that it's much less
Oh,
evident in
yeah.
here than it
Which
was before.
I actually like that. I would probably change them all to like a 2 or something because that
Yeah,
way
I
they're
think I would
still
too.
there, but they're not distracting.
Yeah. Cool.
Anyway, a little map making with the B&B.
Yeah. So I think that's about all we have to say about that,
Yeah.
to quote Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll close it off there. And next on to geocoding.
Yep. See you next time.